Hello there and welcome to the first video on this channel. So there's a lot of videos out there that are telling you how to use Visual Basic, but they're all by other people that don't speak proper English or just don't give a good example. So I'm going to give you the best example that I can that will show you how to use Visual Basic for beginners. So if you're advanced and watching this, you're probably not, but if you are, you're probably thinking I'm a complete idiot, but I'm going to try my best to explain some of the features, functions, things and stuff in Visual Basic or Visual Studio technically. So I'm going to open up Visual Studio 2015, download that. You just look it up simply, download it, then it wants you to register it, and to do that all you have to do is put in an email address and it's free until you make money off it. So mine has a different skin on it, yours should look a bit white depending on how you like it, still the same thing. You just want to go ahead and hit new project and you want to rename it just here and call it whatever you want. It has no, doesn't matter what it is, just keep the title alphanumeric, letters and numbers. So I'm going to call this tutorial, like a lot of people do. This here changes place where you want to save it, so I'm just simply saving it in a folder on a new hard drive. If you want to change that, you just simply go browse and you can have a look at all of the hard drives you have available to do that. Then quite simple to do that. If you really need me to explain it, just simply put a comment and I will reply to that. So I'm just going to go OK, and this should start the project. It will take a little bit, like a couple of seconds, but it will take instantly for you. Now it's started, this is usually the window that you would see. To actually start your program, you just go up to this box here, which says start, obviously, and click on that. And as you see, it's going to take a while the first time you start it, hopefully not too long. Okay, as you see here, the program just started and you have this box here. So this is the program. It's called Form 1. You can minimize it, you can maximize it, like that, and you can exit out of it, which will stop the entire program. You can see the memory here and the CPU usage, but I don't know if older versions have that. This should work on older versions. They're close to the same. I'm going to change the size of this, just make it a bit bigger by dragging the bottom right hand corner down. I'm going to change the name by going over to the right hand side, changing the text on it. Make sure it's the text, not the actual name, to whatever you want. I'm going to call this tutorial. Again, simple as that. Once I do that, just resize it a bit more. I am going to try to make a program that will make a text box just bounce across the screen. Simple as that. Just go back and forth across the screen. I haven't got an example because I haven't made the program yet, but hopefully I'll be doing good, pretty good for my first time. So what you want to get your toolbox out. If you don't have your toolbox and you accidentally exited it and you have no idea how to get it back, just simply go up to the tab view and then you go down to your toolbox. If I can find it, there it is. Or you hold Control and Alt and press X. You get this window. You can dock it so you get it on the little tab there. You can lock it in. There you go. Dock as tab, document, dock, float. Oh yeah, float's just where you can like move it around and stuff. But I usually like it on the tab here, just because I like it. What you would want is a button. You just click and drag off the button. If you can't find it, just simply search up here, button. Make it your own size. I'm going to put it right in the middle or something. Simply rename this button. No, click me. And want to change the font. So you want to scroll up on the right hand side to font. Click on it once and you get these little three boxes here. Open that up, should bring up the font window. I'm just going to make the size a little bit bigger. As you can see, click me. This section here controls all the properties of the button. So you can change the size of it, you can change whether it's clickable or not, whether it's invisible or not, everything. I'm going to change the name of the button, so the actual name in the code. From button 1, I'm going to change that to, I'm going to change it to operate actually, because it's a bit easier to do. Okay, once that, I want to get a text box. So just go up here, type in text box. So this one here is going to be the text box that jumps around. And I'm going to name this jump. Why not? I'm going to make the font a bit bigger, about 16. That is not the right one. The font on the text box, 16. There we go. Oh, and I stuffed up there by changing the font on the form, so you can just simply get rid of that, like just by doing Control Z, which is undo. So this here is the text box. Now we're going to need another little thing, and you'll see why in a second. I'm just going to copy this, Control C and Control V, and put this up here. I'm going to change the text on this to 0, and I'm going to change the text align to center, so it's in the center. So this will be changing from 0 to 1, and there's a reason for this, is because when this one bounces over to here, it needs to look for when it goes back. So this is going to change to 1, and when it's on 1, it's going to go back here, and then when it gets to here, it changes it to 0. Once you have added those two, you want to add a timer by simply typing it in. Just click and drag that anywhere and you get it down here. Now on the timer, this is called the interval. This changes the speed of the timer. This runs in milliseconds. There's 1000 milliseconds in 1 second, and what the timer does in the line of code, it makes the code run over and over again at a specified time. So if I did 1000, it would run at once every 1000 milliseconds, which is once every second. 100 is 10 times every second. 10 is 100 times every second, and 1 is 1000 times every second. It won't actually run any faster than 1. You can't go 0.1 or 0.01. It's just the program has barriers in it that you can't really get past. You can if you have like 2 timers. Okay, so the behavior of the timer, you want to see the enabled. I want to keep that as false, and so it's not running unless I tell it to run. The name of the timer, I'm gonna get, it's just called timer 1 actually. I'm just gonna leave that. And yeah, so that's all the, that's actually all the things you need. I'm gonna change the text on the first text box to 0 if I can find the text. There we go. And I'm actually going to align this in the center as well. Okay, now once that's done, you want to double click on the button and you'll get into the code. It automatically generates a bit of code for you. It just saves you from running it out, and you can stuff up so much stuff writing that out. So as you can see here, it creates a private sub. The in between here controls everything that happens in the button. This button's called operate, and it handles the operate.click. You can change a lot of things in here. Just changing in this line, you can make completely new ones, which you would have to do getting in advanced, but I'm just going to stick with this for now. In the code, all I want to type for this, all I want the button to do is enable and disable the timer. So I'm actually going to I'm going to change the back color. So when it's enabled, it's going to be green, and when it's disabled, it's going to be red. So I'm going to do if me, which means the actual form. You never say form 1, you always say me unless you're dealing with other forms. If me dot back color equals color dot lime, then you just want to press enter. Then so it's, if the color is lime, so if it's a type of green color, then you want the program to enable the timer. So go timer1 dot enabled equals true. I'm sorry, it's a bit dark. And you can put as many lines as you want down here, as many things as you want it to do as soon as it equals that. I want to also do me.backColor equals color.red. And I want to stop there. So basically what it does, when I click the button, if the color is green, then it enables the timer and it changes the color to red. That's not right. I should if the color is red, then it changes it to green. Okay. So that will make it so the colors just changes and enables the timer. But the timer doesn't do anything. To first set the color, because it's going to see it as a white color, you want to double click on the form and you're just going to do me.backColor equals color.red. And what this will do, as soon as the form loads, it will change the color to red. I'll show you that now. Give it a few seconds. As you can see here, the color's red because of this line here. If I were to click the button, it will see that the color is red, and then it will enable the timer, which won't do anything, and it will change the color to green. So hopefully it works. All I want it to do is change the color to green. That's the only thing I want it to do right now, and I'm hoping that will happen. But as you can see here, it's loading again, and if I click the button, it should change it to green. Yep, as you can see, it changes to green, which is good. But if I click it again, nothing will happen because I haven't made it so anything does. So let's change it back to red. Let's make a toggleable button or something. I can't say that. So what you want to do, you want to go back into the code. And these are the tabs here. This changes the designer and this changes the code, in case you were wondering. And then you want to do else. Press enter. So that's if it's not red, it must be green. So you want to do I'm actually going to do else if me.backColor equals color.lime, then timer1.enabled equals true, and me.backColor equals color.red. And I stuffed up here, and I forgot I have to change this to false because it's already, no, that's right. And I want to turn the make it false here. Okay, so what that'll do if the color isn't red, then it will test if it's green. If it is green, then it will turn the timer off and it will change the color to red, saying that the actual program has stopped. So I'll show you that here as soon as it loads. Okay, so you want to click it, changes to green. Now the program sees that it's green, and so it changes it back to, okay, well that didn't work. Okay, the reason for that is that I stuffed up here. It's not seeing lime, it's seeing green. I'm actually going to change that to green because I'm a bit lazy. Okay, I'm going to start it again. It will definitely work now. I am sorry for that. Okay, you want to click this, changes to green, click it again, changes to red because it sees that it is green, so it changes it back to red. And keep clicking this and probably have a seizure. I'm going to exit out of this and I'm actually going to work on the timer now because the entire button is actually finished. That's all the code you need for the button, yeah, not that much compared to other things. Okay, so to work on the timer again, you just want to double click on it. Okay, and so the timer will already get enabled when the color is green. So what I want to do is I want to set up the timer so it moves this thing over to just around about here somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. And I'm actually going to make this text change just so it gives you a bit of visual stuff. So how I do that is I want to do text box 1 dot text equals text box 1 dot text minus 1. And this is a plus, but I can't do plus because it will add an extra 1 onto it. I want to add 1 onto the current number, so I have to do minus. And so what this will do, if I start it now and I enable the timer, it will cause the text box to just keep going up. Well, that text box shouldn't be doing it. I was meant to do that one, so I just simply changed that. Okay, so I named the text box jump, so I'm just going to do jump.text. My bad, sorry. Okay, so now this will definitely work. You saw the other one work, so this would have to work since I just changed the text here. So I want to click this, and as you can see, the clock keeps going up, and looks like it's running about 100 times every second. So what I want to do is I want to leave that. I'm going to change this interval a little bit down. I'm going to change it down to, that's running 1,000, almost 100 times. I'm going to put it down to 100 so it runs 10 times a second. Seems like 1 and 10 don't do anything differently. So if I click that, it's a little bit slower, which is too slow. I'm going to make it a little bit faster. So I'm just going to change it to 10 rather than 100 because that's a bit too slow. So this should work. That looks fairly good. I think it was actually the exact same. I'm not sure. Who cares? Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to go back to the timer. So it equals -1. Okay, but I'm going to cut this line by doing Control X. Just get rid of it. And because that I don't need that line just yet. I want to do okay, so I have to test if this text box is 0 or not. So I have to do if text box 1 dot text equals 0, then text box jump dot text sorry. What I want to do is when it is equal to 0, I also want to test if the text box is at a certain number, and only to do it until that number. So I'm going to make it until I'm going to do it until 200, and I only want it to do it just until the number 200. So if if jump.text is less than 200, then jump.text equals jump. Actually, so then you want to do, you just want to do Control V, and you want to paste that line in. Jump.text equals jump.text minus 1. So what this is going to do is as soon as it reaches 200, it should stop. And this is only because the text box is 0. So if the text box 1 is anything different, it actually won't run. It won't run. So hopefully it gets to 200, 100, 200, and then it stops. If I change this, alright, well, you should know, if I were to change this to 1 before I start it, I'm going to do it mid actually. I'm going to change that to 3. As you can see, text box isn't running. Change it to 0. Perfect. Okay, so when I want it to reach, when it reaches 200, I want it to set the first text box to 1 to make it see, like, I want the first text box to realize that it reached 200. You'll see this very soon, why I want this to do it. I want text box 1 to change to the number 1 when it reaches 200. So how I do this is Well, since it's already adding 1 if it's 200, that means I can just simply go if it isn't less than 200, so else, okay, else I want to do text box 1.text equals 1. Okay, so as soon as it reaches 200, it will set that text box to 1. Okay, once the text box is at 1, I'm going to make another new line, because this is the end of the if statement. I'm going to make a new if statement for what happens if the text box is 2. Actually, I'm going to go down and I'm going to go back a line like in between these two end ifs, and I'm going to go else. So this is if it's 0, it does all this code. If it's not 0, it will do some more. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this entire if statement and I'm going to paste it here. So this is the statement that same as that there. So if it's less than 200, I'm going to have to change a fair bit of this actually. So I want to do if jump.text is greater than 0, because I'm going to make it go backwards now, then I'm going to do jump.text minus 1. Else textbox1.text would equal 0. So what this will do is if jump.text is more than 0, then it will take away 1. Since it's already at 200, it will go down to 0. If it's not less than 0, greater than 0, and it is 0, then it changes text box 1 up here back to 0, and then it will start running this code. I'm also going to add I'm going to add jump.text equals 0. So what that does, wait, I realize I actually don't need that because it's already at 0. Hopefully this will work. This will change to 200, then go back to 0. I'm not too sure if it will. Hopefully it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Okay, so it goes to 200, and then it starts counting down. Perfect. And counting up again, and as you can see, this is going to 1 and 0. 1 is going down, 0 is going... Okay, that's done. Now we only need a few more lines. Actually, we only need one more line to do it, to actually finish, make it bounce. So all I want to do, just fairly simple, completely new, out of the if statements here, I want to do text, I want to do jump.left equals jump.text. I'm actually going to do right to left. Okay, no, that's right. Wait, what? Yeah, this should be right. Actually, I don't think so. So yeah, this will definitely work, hopefully. And that is all the code that is needed if it does work. Let's just test it out. As you can see, the 2 text box, I'm going to click it and it's jumping over to the left. As soon as we reach 1, it goes back the other way. That's all it does. And this is actually a fairly fun thing to do. There's a lot of things you can do with this program. I'll show you in a sec a calculator that I made with it. Okay, so this here is a calculator that I made with the program a while ago. So this is what you can do with it. You can do some crazy stuff with, I don't even know, 9 to binaries, 1001. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with this awesome program. This is, in my opinion, one of the easiest languages that I have learnt, just because it's just so simple. It's just if and else. It's all you really need to know. If you have any questions about this program, or this video specifically, leave it down in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can and as soon as I read the comment. I will be leaving a download link, a link to my Dropbox with this program in it, as well as the code, so you can download it. All you have to do is I'll show you now how to actually open up the program. So you want to right click on the main program, the VB one, and then you want to go open in File Explorer. Okay, as you can see here, this is all the program. This is the program here. So this is the file that I'll be leaving in my Dropbox. You want to click on this, and this is the one to get this window up. Once you get this window up, it's not going to have any of the code of the designer. You just want to right click on the form one, and you want to go view code and view designer. Okay, what else? In the actual program, the executable file, you want to go into the tutorial or whatever folder you want. You want to go to bin, debug, and as you can see, you see tutorial.exe. It'll be the name of your program.exe. So if I were to click this program, it'll bring up the window. It's not running off this, and you can just copy this to a USB and give it to people to have a look at your awesome program that you made. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down. I'll be leaving a link to my Dropbox in the comments, in the description below. Hopefully you enjoy and tune in for the next episode. Bye bye.